Okay. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to Global Power Platform Bootcamp 2024, Saudi Arabia version. Um, Before starting the session, I would like to thank Mohammed Al Qassam for giving us this opportunity for speaking in the event. It means a lot for us. And a very happy Ramadan to all of you. I hope everyone is having a generous Ramadan. And I would like to thank each and every one of you who is present in this call because I know that being a Saturday, being Ramadan, staying in the event is a very big job. So thank you very much for staying in this event. I hope you are learning everything from each session. So today in my session, what I'm trying to speak about is how to expand Copilot Studio with plugins. Okay. So before going through the session, let me just introduce myself. My name is Kun Sandani. I'm an independent M365 consultant. I do my daily work based on Microsoft 365 products such as Copilot, SharePoint, Teams, all the all the products available under Microsoft 365 umbrella. Even work with Power Platform as well. So this is few of my social media handlers. If you have any doubt, queries, question, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you. Okay. So today, the agenda for the session would be Power Virtual Agent to Copilot Studio. Then we'll talk about different plugins in Copilot Studio. Then plugin actions. So today, our major focus would be into plugin actions in Copilot Studio. Then I will show you the demo and the licensing part. Okay. So first thing, how many of you have worked with Power Virtual Agent? If you can just say yes in the chat window, I would I would be happy to see that how many of you have ever worked with Power Virtual Agent. Anyone from this? I'll just wait for 1 minute. If no response, then I'll assume that no one has worked with Power Virtual Agent. Okay, I do not see any response. Okay, no worries. So that means, see, previously a chatbot framework was present from Microsoft, which was called as Power Virtual Agent. Okay. It was a low code platform altogether, wherein if you want to create any chatbot, you can leverage Power Virtual Agent and create chatbot. Okay. And use it across different channels. Now, similar thing is present, but they have come up with a new name called as Copilot Studio. But there are additional features. Okay. So we need to understand why they have renamed it and what are these additional features. Okay. So the first additional feature, which is very important, is the generative AI part. Okay. So as we know that Copilot Studio has a generative AI feature, and that is the reason it is very important that if you want to use some generative AI chatbot, you can create it using Copilot Studio. Okay, a low code platform which would help you create chatbot which leverages generative AI. Okay, so that is why there was a transition from Power Virtual Agent to Copilot Studio. Okay, now I know from the first session you might be listening to Copilot, and Copilot. Okay, because it's the most like buzzed word right now. Okay, if you go to any of the Microsoft event, everyone is talking about Copilot. But we need to understand what is Copilot and what are the types of Copilot. Okay. So broadly, we can divide Copilot into three different types. The first one is M365 Copilot. Okay. And if I can show you that. Okay, perfect. Yes. So if you see, there's something called as modern work. Okay. All this M365 Copilot is present with your Office or rather M365 app. For example, Word, PowerPoint, Excel. So the first category is Microsoft 365 Copilot. Okay. The second category is the first party Copilot. Okay. And what is first party Copilot? First party Copilot are Copilot which is built by Microsoft itself. Okay. So the Copilot which we see in Dynamics 365 is an example of first party Copilot. The Copilot which we see in Power Platform, it's a first party Copilot. Okay. And the third and the most important category of Copilot is the custom Copilot, which we are going to see. Okay. And this custom Copilot is like can be created using Copilot Studio. Okay. And it can leverage your data, it can be used in different channels, whatnot. Okay. So Copilot Studio helps developers like you and me to develop a custom bot, which is from this Copilot framework only. Okay. So I have just introduced the Copilot Studio in the layman terms, or like in a small or a precise way. What we can say that it's a low code platform for creating custom Copilot. Okay. Now, let me quickly introduce you to the screen of Copilot. Okay. Custom Copilot. So what you need to do is you need to go to it's a simple process. Okay. You need to search for, I'll go quickly to Copilot Studio. The first thing that you see is extend your Copilot or create your own. Okay. Now here we have free trial period. Okay. We have around 30 to 60 days of free trial period, which can get extended. All these things is present. We'll go through the licensing model at that. Now from this screen, you can just click on try free and get your 30-day free trial. And once you click on try free, you'll be navigated to this particular screen. Okay. This is the home page of the Copilot Studio, where we can create custom Copilot. And to create custom Copilot, what we need to do is either click on create a. Okay. Just click on this button, give it a name. Okay. We can select language which my Copilot understands. Okay. So currently there are around 20 languages which are available, but we don't have Arabic as of now. But I hope with the time pass, Microsoft will introduce Arabic as well as the language. Okay. So currently it's not available. We can give a website from where we want to get the data. If not, we can keep it blank. It's not a mandatory field. And just if you go to edit advanced option, we see there's something called a solution and schema. So we need to understand if you create a custom Copilot, we would require Dataverse behind the scene. So it's the primary or mandatory thing which is required. If you don't have Dataverse behind the scene, it won't get created, right? Because it is leveraging Dataverse to store the data and all the information. And from the Dataverse, it is creating this interface. Okay? So we can use our solution. If I have a custom solution created, I can add the Copilot, custom Copilot, which I'm creating in that particular solution. Okay. And I can give the schema name, whatever I want. I can even have a custom icon for my Copilot. Once I click on create, a nice looking bot would be created. This bot does not understand anything. Okay. For now, it will only understand the topics which are present out of the box. So don't consider this bot as a chat GPT. Okay. It does not have this features which we have in chat GPT. It's currently a dumb bot. To add all those generative AI things, we need to enable few things. Okay. So that I will show you, and how we can leverage plugins as well. I'll show you. So if I say, so it's still connecting. If I say hi, it will say me all these things. Okay. Hi will give me an answer. But if I say, who is the Sultan of Saudi Arabia? See, it says I'm sorry, I'm not able to understand. That is because Currently, this bot does not understand anything. It's kind of a dumb bot. Okay. Now, going to our topic, which was plugins. Okay. So to add the intelligence, or rather make our bot more understanding, we need to extend the bot. Okay. And one of that extension point is plugins. Okay. And there are at least 7 different types of plugins which are available. We'll go through one by one in detail just to understand what this plugin does and how we can leverage it. The first type of plugin is conversational plugin. And this is very important if we want to extend my M365 Copilot, right? At the beginning of the session, we understood what are the different types of Copilot. The first type of Copilot, which was Microsoft 365 Copilot. Now, to extend this Microsoft 365 Copilot, there is a plugin which is called as conversational plugin. How we can leverage it? Okay, I will show you how we can leverage it. To leverage that conversational plugin, we need to go to our plugin, the Copilot Studio bot which we have created. Go to extend Microsoft Copilot. Okay, it says extend Microsoft Copilot, which is the first category of the Copilot. Go to conversational plugin, click on that, and add a conversational plugin. What it asks is, it just asks for the description, and rest everything is taken care of. For example, if I say that something related to the session, okay, what this plugin will give me the information for global power platform bootcamp. Okay, and now it from this description, it understands that okay, whenever user is asking about related to a global power platform bootcamp, I need to call this plugin and we can generate any answer we want. We can say that okay, test. And whenever a user is asking about global power platform bootcamp, they will receive a message called as test. Okay. This is how we can extend our Microsoft 365 Copilot, which was the first version of the code. Okay. So first category of the code. You can test the Copilot, do all the stuff. Okay, we can test the Copilot. But for now, we are not interested in this. We are rather interested in the plugin actions. Okay. We'll go through the plugin actions as well in the detail. Now, the second type of plugin, which is a category of AI plugin. So in AI plugin, we have 4 different types of plugins. One of them is generate content or extract insights. Now, to understand this plugin, let me go back to my studio. If I go to Copilots, there's something called as plugins preview. This plugin preview has 2 different categories here. One is called as add a Power Platform component as an AI plugin or add an OpenAI plugin. But for this second category of plugin, which is generate content or extract insights, we use Power Platform component. Okay, and it has this generate content or extract insights. If I click on it, what it does is behind the scene, it leverages the AI builder which we have for the Power Platform. Okay. So it says start from a template. I can select summarize text, for example. I can give name of the prompt, summary of text. Now I can test the prompt. I can give some text that global. So I can get some sample text. Okay, I can get this text. Come to my plugin, give this and test the prompt. From this, it will try and extract the relevant information and it will give me the response. Okay. So it says it's about Power Platform Festival, which is a free event organized by user groups and communities worldwide. Okay, so this is how we can leverage this prompt to summarize our text, but it can do many additional operations as well. Okay, this is one such example. Now we'll go to the third type of plugin, which is custom automation. Okay, so to use automation as a plugin, we again go to our custom Power Platform plugin, click on custom automation, and what it does is it does a very important or very rather easy thing. It goes to a Power Automate, it creates a new Power Automate, but with an action called as run a flow from Copilot, and it gives a response to Copilot. So two things which we get, one is run from Copilot, the other one is respond to Copilot. Now, run from Copilot, as like from the name itself, we are able to understand that, okay, this Power Automate will run from the Copilot. So we do not have to ask Copilot when to call this. It will automatically understand. If I click on this, we can have additional input that, okay, what is the text which is coming from the user? What is the history which user has done? All these things, we can get it as an input. Call our generative AI API, which Bhargavi has explained in the previous session. Call that API, get the response, and send it to the Copilot. Very easy, and it leverages or makes our bot more intelligent, right? We are going towards kind of a bot which could be a chat GPT. Okay, so but in your organization using low code without writing a single line of code, which is very important. So this is how we can leverage the fourth type of plugin. Now, other than this, we can even call or rather search for the data in our custom database anywhere. The data could be anywhere. Now, this is a blank Power Automation. You can have any action which you want. Okay, so this is how we can leverage custom automation. Now, the fourth type of plugin is update or get answer about external data. Now, when I say external data, I'm talking about data which is not part currently in my Power Platform, not in my data world, somewhere else. It stays somewhere else. Now, to leverage that, there is this option called as update or get answers about external data. Now, this will leverage nothing but custom connector. I hope everyone understand custom connector, because in our demo as well, we'll go through custom connector. Okay, so what is custom connector? In Power Platform, or rather in the low code platform, if you want to leverage or get data from outside of this environment. So for example, if you want to get the data from service, or if you want to get the data from SAP, which is very important, right? All the big organization is using SAP for their ERP or some systems, right? They want to get or leverage the data from the SAP. So you can create a custom connector, get the data, and add it in our bot. So this is very easy, and you can do it without writing a single line of code. So I'll explain you that in the demo as well. So this is how we can leverage the custom connector part of the plugin. The fifth plugin, which is OpenAI plugin. Now, as the name suggests, OpenAI plugin. So if I go to add an OpenAI plugin, it is very simple. What Bhargavi explained, we just need to create all the steps. Create an Azure OpenAI service, get our model created, get the API. Once that is done, just get that service URL, the key, and place it over there. Okay. Using those parameters only, your bot became a chat GPT with that 3.5. So now if you want to create or have a model with GPT-4, for example, right? If you created a model with GPT-4 and you want to leverage it, so get that model, all the APIs, the keys, just paste it over here. That's it. Now your bot is leveraging GPT-4 model in your bot or custom bot which we have created. Okay, so this is how we can leverage the OpenAI plugin. The sixth plugin is the Azure Bot Framework. So in the Azure Bot Framework, we can create custom skills. Okay, And this skills can be added as a part of your plugin. I don't have a demo of it, but from the theoretical point of view, yes, we can create a plugin using Azure Bot Framework as well. But today, what we are focusing is plugin action. This is very easy and very important when you are creating a custom Copilot bot. Okay. So, what are plugin actions? Plugin actions is nothing but all your actions which is available in Power Automate. So for example, in Power Automate, we have a plugin action called or a action called as get data from SharePoint or get data from Excel, list data from Excel table. Okay. All these actions can be directly used in our bot. Okay. And to use it, what we do is we go to our bot, which we created, go to actions section, which is in the preview right now. Okay. Just a disclaimer, all the plugins which we are seeing right now is in preview. So this could change anytime. Okay. Because previously the plugin actions was part of topics. Okay. So if you go to topics, there was create a custom action. But now they have come up with a new navigation only for creating a action plan. So when I go to actions, there's something called as create, and here we would have list of all the actions which we have in Power Automate. For example, list all your database table items, all these things, get worksheet, MSN weather information, all this can be added to our bot, and this bot can leverage that information, understand that information, and pass on the message to you. Okay. So in the demo, what we are trying to do or rather develop is I have leveraged an API from CRUD API. So this gives me CRUD operations like create, update, delete, and read. Okay. So these are the 4 operations which is given by this API, and I have created a custom connector. Okay. So in this custom connector, it's an order custom connector. I created a database. It has all the orders. You can update the order, get all the orders. So if I go to code or rather definition, sorry. Okay. Yes. Let me refresh. So as you can see, we have 4 different actions: get orders, create orders, delete orders, and update orders. Now, whenever we create this action, it is very important to provide the description, because this description is being leveraged in our custom Copilot, which we are trying to develop. Okay. So we can leverage it. So now in this, I will go and filter custom connector. Okay, only custom connector, and I will search for orders. I click on search. I get all the actions which I've created in my custom connector. I leverage get orders. I click on get orders. Okay. It will ask me for few information like what it is doing. From those information, my bot will be able to understand that, okay, how he can leverage. See, it says action details, that it is on get orders, the model description. Do I need to ask any question to the user before using this action? Because sometimes we want to get additional information. For example, if you want to update an order, right? You want to have an order ID, because you cannot update any order, right? You don't want to update all the orders. So you can specify all these things in the prompt in the screen itself. You can have inputs and what are the outputs. So for now, it's just a get order. We don't want anything to do. We just click on finish. And once it is added, we can ask our bot to get all the orders. What it will do, it will go to database, fetch all the orders, and send it to me. Now, to use this feature, there's a very important step which we need to do. Okay. So it's there's something called as dynamic chain. Okay. What is dynamic chaining is, whenever we give any prompt or whenever we ask any question to our bot, okay, we want to use that question and understand which way we want to go, or rather which path to be choose. And if we want it to be dynamic, for example, if we don't want only topics to leverage it, if you want it to be dynamic in terms of all our plugins would also be part of it, we just need to enable it. All this would be taken care by generative AI. We don't have to do anything. Just click on save, done. Now I can ask my bot to get all the orders and it will give me, okay. If I say get orders, that's it, get orders. And not only get orders, it will even, so if there's another prompt which we are using, which has get orders in internally, it understands that, okay, it is something called as get orders, okay. So I would say get order, maybe some additional criteria which is happening. Okay, no worries. I have a bot which I've already created. We can use that. Get order. See, this gives me list of all the orders which is present in my database. So we can go to my database, okay, and see any one of them. For example, the order ID and the order amount is 100. The order status is completed. UUID is the order ID, okay. So if I go back to my, see, the amount is 100, the status is completed, and the order ID. Very interestingly, you can use any API which is available and make your bot understand those APIs. So this is how we can leverage plugin action to get the data and display it over here. Now, not only you can use this, you can use it with different languages as well. So if I go to settings, there's something called as languages. Now, in this, we can add additional language. Okay, so if I click on add language, there are multiple languages which are available. Currently, Arabic is not available, but I think in some time we should have it. Okay, so we can use any of this language. I have currently configured second language as Hindi. And if I go back and change my language, for example, if I go to this and change my language to Hindi, and what is my Hindi prompt? If I ask this, okay, which is a Hindi prompt for get all orders, it will list me all the orders in the similar fashion. But with what is very important is, if you see, the message is also translated, right? So I don't have to do anything. It just understand that, okay, what I have to do, I have to translate the answer as well in the language which the user has selected. Okay, because the data is not in that. So this is something called as completed in Hindi. The data in the database is completed, but it has converted that into Hindi. But if we want, for example, if we don't want it to be translated, we can even restrict that as well. Okay, we can go to our plugin action. So if I go to this, go to get orders. Okay, and if I say, it says always translate the field into current user's language, even translate the value of status. So I just remove this. Okay, just click on save. Then if I again prompt my bot, because we don't want our status to be converted, right? Completed should be completed across all the languages. So now it will list me all the entries. Still, it is not able to understand. So we can just modify our prompt and say that, okay, please do not translate the status value. And then we can try again just to see if now it works. Now nothing is translated. Okay. So we need to find a way to give description to this prompt in such a way that it understands and translate whatever is required. Okay. We can say that, okay, please translate the all the other information other than the status or something. Okay. So this is how we can leverage the translation as well. Now, for example, if you want to update, if a user comes to this application or other bot, okay, and tries to update the order, okay, which is currently not configured in my the previous Copilot which we developed, but for this Copilot, I have already configured it. If I go to this, I have added a custom action called as update order, and in this update order, I go to this update order. See, I have given that this section is used to update the individual order, and there's input as well, right? Because to update the order, I have to specify what is the order ID, and that is the part of input. Okay, so I require two things. I am only allowing order status to be updated, so I want order ID and I want order status. Okay, so I can, so this is my new session. Okay, in my bot, I can say, let me change my language back to English. And I can say update the order. Now my bot would understand what I need to ask to the end user that, okay, please, what is the order ID? So now I can go to my database, get the UUID of this order, which is this, can copy, go to my Copilot, paste it. It will even ask me for the status as well. Okay. So what is the order status? So I can say pending. If you if we quickly go to the current database and see, it says completed, right? Now if I go back and say pending, hit enter. Hopefully the demo code will help me and my demo will work. And it says the order ID has been successfully updated. The new order status is pending. Very good. I can go back, refresh the page, and hopefully my data is also updated. I can go back and see it says pending. Very good. This is how we can even leverage updating our data. Okay. Now, I hope I was able to help you with all different types of plugins and you understand how we can leverage this plugin to make our bot more like helpful for the end user and more intuitive. Okay. So we have gone through the plugin action standard. Now the last and very important part is the licensing. Okay. So Copilot Studio subscription works in such a way that it's $200 for 25,000 message. And when I say message, we need to understand what is a message. Okay. So any user in your organization is trying to use this bot. Okay. So before going to that, how you can publish this bot. Okay. We need to understand how we can publish this bot. So to publish this bot, we need to go to, there's something called as channel. I can allow this bot to go into Microsoft Copilot, which is the first type of the bot with Copilot, which we have seen, the first category. It can even go to Microsoft Teams. Okay. So your user can directly chat in Microsoft Teams with this bot, which is a custom bot which we have created. We can even have a demo website. Currently for this particular tenant, it is not available. But if you have your own tenant, it will give you a custom website. You can add this bot in a custom website. It will give you just a JavaScript based snippet. Just copy paste that in your website and the bot will prompt up. Okay. Very interesting. It can be added into Slack, Skype, Facebook. All these channels are available. Okay. Very interestingly, you can add it with just one button click. Now, coming back to the licensing part, we were trying to understand what is a message. Okay. So whenever a user say hi and the bot respond to that prompt, it is called a message. Okay, so any response coming from a bot is called a message. But if there is any generative AI thing which is leveraged, for example, what we have seen, the order status getting updated, the order listing of the orders, all this is leveraged using generative AI thing. For that, it uses two messages. Okay, so it counts as two messages because it has to hook to that generative AI thing. So that is how we need to calculate the message. And for example, if your quota is completed, for example, your 25,000 message is completed, for 25,000 first message, you get another, like you have to pay another $200 and you get more 25,000 messages. So that is how the Copilot Studio subscription or rather the license work. If you have only Copilot for Microsoft 365, the first category of Copilot, it has $30 per user per month. Okay. Now, what are the features available? If you go through this, it does not have Copilot Studio is a different licensing altogether. It is not part of that. Okay. But Copilot Studio for Teams is free. Okay. If you see, if you have a Microsoft 365 license with E35, Copilot Studio for Microsoft Teams. If you go to Microsoft Teams, search for an app called as Copilot Studio, you will get a free app. Okay. But there are few features which are not available. For example, Gen AI features is not available. But you can create a limited set of things if you want to create using the Copilot Studio, which is available for Teams as well. Okay. So this is few of the references which you can go through. And I would pause for a minute so that if you want to take a screenshot, you can take it. They're very important. These are very helpful. You can just go through it very, very helpful. Okay. And that's it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to say shukran. And this is it. Okay. This is the end of the session from my side. Thank you, the organizers. Thank you, all the participants for staying in this. I hope you learned something. Okay. And over to you. Thank you.